good, guys? It's your boy Corey.
It's your boy John.
And welcome back to the Artistry Drop, where we feature stories from today's rising artists.
Yes, sir.
If you like being inspired, don't miss out on our weekly episodes, so be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell notification to be notified when we drop new episodes.
Let's go.
Guys, we're going to dive right in. Our guest today is a rock star out of the Inland Empire and is a creative nonetheless. He's also part of the upcoming band FXT. Guys, please welcome our guest, Jordan Palani.
Hey, Jordan, let's go.
Welcome,
brother.
Jordan. Thank you for coming through, bro.
Yes.
Definitely
Thanks
appreciate you. Yeah, for sure. Is this your first podcast?
No, I've done a couple podcasts
Okay,
before.
dope. Yeah,
Okay.
something we always ask because I know sometimes it's people's first time. Sometimes they have done. Sometimes
Yeah.
people get hella nervous because it's their first podcast. So
Right.
just something to ask you. But appreciate you nonetheless coming through.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely excited to have you on this podcast. Get to
Yes,
know you
sir.
a little bit more.
Hell yes.
Before we do, we got to get into the drink of the day.
Okay, the drink of the day is called the Lychee Dragon.
Lychee Dragon.
So it has dragon fruit, frozen dragon fruit blended in with frozen mangoes, lychee chunks blended in as well with lychee syrup, some tequila, and a mango nectar, and that is the Lychee Dragon.
Fire. It looks good.
So let's
have we
try
had
it.
this before?
No, but
Yeah,
it was pink.
okay.
I've made dragon fruit
All right,
drinks before. but-
Cheers. Yeah, y'all drink it
Cheers.
first. 'Cause,
You don't want to die?
yeah, I came here and it was already made. So.
No,
Who
we good.
knows
We
what-
good.
who
We
knows
good.
what's in it?
We ain't gonna kill you, bro. Don't worry.
I'll pass out.
No, you good. Yeah, that shit's good though.
Yeah.
It's fire.
Thank you,
Another
brother.
taste.
Yeah, bring the mic a little bit closer to you.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, bring it closer, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Cool,
pretty
cool.
good. All right, so before we start off the podcast, we gotta get into like generic stuff.
Yeah.
Before we get into like the real stuff. So, almost nearly every guest we've had on the podcast is from out of state. Are you originally from here in California and LA?
Yeah, born and raised, SoCal boy.
Okay.
Grew up in Corona and
Yeah.
lived in LA for a little bit. I went to Pepperdine out in Malibu.
Oh, dope. Okay.
Yeah, so I graduated there, dormed
Nice.
a little bit. But yeah, always SoCal.
Okay. You
Yeah,
never
yeah.
have you traveled out of state or anything?
Yeah,
Or-
so I've been around a couple states. Like I've been to Texas, or no, I've been to Texas. I've been in Nevada,
Mm-hmm.
Arizona, Hawaii, Colorado. I went to London, studied
Dope.
abroad for
Oh, damn.
a couple months. But other than that, never lived anywhere outside of the state.
Okay. What'd you study over there?
I studied marketing.
Oh, nice.
damn.
Okay.
Okay.
Why all the way in London? Was it just better over there, or?
It was just a study abroad program. So like one thing about like college is I feel like you got to study abroad once.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
and it was a cool experience. Got
Yeah,
to be
for
with
sure.
like my peers and just explore London for a month.
Yeah.
How different was it?
Other than like driving on the other side of the road.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm sure
Like-
fashion, music is different.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think it's still better out here.
Oh,
But,
yeah,
like,
for
it's
sure.
like a different need. It's like, you seen the Austin Powers movies?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It's exactly like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
everyone over there has like fucked up teeth.
Holding up their pinkies.
yeah. Mini me's and shit like that. How long were you out there studying?
A month. Yeah.
A month?
So I
Okay.
stayed in South Kensington. I stayed in like this really nice, like old building, almost like a hotel.
Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, we were just able to explore. The classroom was in where we were living at. And on our free time, we would go to like the different clubs, the tourist parts of like London.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Did you
dope.
do music at that time too?
I did, but I wasn't fully invested into it. So
Oh,
once I
okay.
got back from there, that's when I like went full force. That was around like 2022.
Oh, okay, damn.
Dope. I couldn't really find too much, on your ethnicity. Are you Filipino?
Yeah, so I'm
Oh.
half Filipino, half Chamorro. The island
Okay.
of Guam.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure,
Guam,
for sure. Yeah, I'm half Filipino, half white. I do know Chamorro. Chamorro's like Guam.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
dope. Yeah. Because I always get so many Filipino homies coming on the shows. I feel like I kind of turn
Yeah,
Artistry Drop into like a Filipino podcast. It's
For
not
real.
that, but no, I love always bringing on the Filipino fam. So I definitely appreciate you coming on. Of course, got to get to know you when you got into music. So like, when did you first get involved with music? Was it something you kind of grew up loving, or?
So I didn't do music. Well, it's weird. So I grew up surrounded by music. My dad, he managed reggae artists. Like
Okay.
Oh,
he
shit.
managed some reggae artists that you might know. He was with this band called Tribal Theory out of San Diego.
Okay, I think it sounds familiar.
He
Yeah.
managed this artist named Garrett Douglas, Spawn Breezy, and he's worked with like other reggae groups like Triple Seeds, Common Kings.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
stuff
Common
like that.
Kings for sure. Yeah.
So he was managing them when I was like in elementary school, middle school, and like I remember going to these shows, seeing these reggae artists at like the House of Blues San Diego, and I would look up to them and think like, damn, these guys are like superheroes. But at the time, like I'm Asian, so my parents only told me like school. So I also played sports. So growing up, I did nothing but school and sports. And I didn't really fall in love or start making music until my senior year of high school. And it was all because like my first girlfriend at the time, she wanted to do music. And I just like, she would always want me to sing to her. She would always want me to like help her record her music. And then I released a song. I made my first ever song with my good buddy Diego in his bedroom. And it was just a YouTube beat. And it was a song that I wrote about my girlfriend at the time. I released it. Everybody liked it. It was like, I was singing a pop song on like a trap beat. So that was how I got into music. That was around like COVID, so there was nothing to do. All I was doing was music, making these little promo videos on TikTok and social media for my music. And then I just fell in love with it because I found it as a way to like be as creative as I wanted to be without having to tell people like what I was, like who I am or what I'm going through.
Yeah, for sure. That's dope. So I mean, technically, I guess music has always kind of been in your blood, coming from your dad.
Yeah, well, he didn't sing or not, so I wasn't surrounded by like singers or like people who played instruments. So like the music business side, yeah, but when it comes to like singing and producing, I was never surrounded by anything like that.
So it's like all from you, pretty much.
Yeah,
you kind of coming into music on your own.
Yeah,
that's dope though.
That
you know,
is dope.
It's dope. You kind of already did bring it up, but I kind of want to talk about it a little more. You know, you dropped your first song, XOXO Love 2020, right? Obviously 2020, that was a rough year for everyone, but I feel like it was a good year for a lot of us artists because we were able to work on our craft a little bit more. You know, like we were all stuck in here, and we had a lot more free time to actually, you know, try to find other things that we want to do, especially TikTok. I mean, TikTok, that's where it blew up, right?
Yeah.
So it might be like a weird question, but what would you say the one thing you love most about being an artist during the pandemic?
One thing I loved the most was like it didn't matter what you did. Like you could release a really trash song and you weren't seeing people. Like you couldn't, like you wouldn't go to school, you wouldn't go like to the gym or to your local bar and be like, hey, you're that goofy dude who put out that goofy song, huh? Like no one could insult you unless it was like in your comment section.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's a sense of like freedom.
Yeah, it's like you could do whatever you want and like you won't have to face the backlash of like hate.
Right.
So I mean that's when like creatives like they were fully able to be creative, and I think that's where like my mindset as far as like I'm gonna do whatever I want when it comes to music and social media and be as goofy, as lovable as I want to be without caring what everyone else thinks.
For sure.
Yeah, no, I see that because like during COVID we were hella goofy, bro. Like we made hella random TikTok videos, doing the ocho like on the stairs and shit, just in random places.
These stupid ass videos.
Oh my god!
It was like, you know, it was one of those videos that you would think would go viral because, you know, we saw so many people going viral with all these stupid videos. So we're like, yo, we should make something stupid too, and we're gonna go viral. It doesn't work that way.
We put his girlfriend in like a cage and have her do the ocho like in the cage. Like, it was
like,
wild shit.
Yeah, it was some wild shit. Like I said, you know, it was stuff that we were trying to beat the algorithm and, you know, trying to find things that would actually pop off. But during that time, it was literally dancing.
Yeah,
dancing was the things that were kind of popping off, and, you know, the content that we were producing just wasn't getting really traction. So it kind of sucks. You know, during that time it was like TikTok's popping off, let's try to utilize it. Shit didn't really work. Got into like streaming. That shit was popping off way more than like TikTok. But yeah, I mean, it
was fun though, and I get
fun.
what you mean about like, you know, the sense of freedom. Like it didn't really matter what you did. We just did whatever we felt like doing because there's nothing else to do.
For sure.
Like I remember I was in high school and like I was always like a sociable person, but like I would always care about like, oh yeah, like hey, flick me up in this hard ass outfit, and like I was like posting like photos without my face in it and just straight fire like fit pics. But then like once COVID hit, I was like, bro, I'm gonna start posting reels, I'm gonna start posting TikToks, I'm gonna just lip sync to songs type shit. And like I didn't care, and I saw myself branching out and becoming more like extroverted socially
You started to rewire yourself, rewire your brain. Yeah. Speaking about fit pics, bro, your earrings, bro, your chain, the jewelry. I see you. I appreciate you. Yeah, that's what's up. You got the whole
thrifted.
Yeah,
all thrifted except
yeah.
for the chain.
What about the Guam one?
No, the Guam chain. This is my dad's. So.
That's dope.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's
passed down.
Yeah, passed down.
Oh, that's what's up. So your dad is Guam or tomorrow, and your mom is Filipino.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm surprised you weren't like surrounded by music on your Filipino side because karaoke.
My parents are military brats.
Oh,
so,
I see.
Gotcha.
That
So
makes
they
sense.
grew up like going all over the place. Like my mom lived in Germany. My parents met in Victorville, Barstow, like the cities right before Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like growing up, they were on military bases, surrounded like by a whole bunch of white people. So I'm kind of whitewashed. Just like,
Hey, I know you're good, bro.
I mean, he's half white.
I'm half white, so don't worry.
Half
Yeah.
Filipino,
I don't speak it. Like one of the weirdest things is like, I don't know. For me, I hate that Filipinos like only fuck with other Filipinos.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah, I mean it's true though. It's true. But honestly, I feel like it depends though. Like the hell of Filipinos will definitely like fuck with only Filipinos.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have so many Filipino friends that they're friends with like everybody.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. I feel like for me being half, I'm definitely more Filipino than I am white, but I also have white friends too. So it's it's a good mixture of both. But how about? Do you love Filipino food?
I love Filipino. Well,
Okay.
I'm not really a food person.
Oh, really?
Like I see eating as like a hassle.
Damn.
Like I don't have a favorite food.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
like, if food was a pill and I could just swallow it and not be hungry, I would do that.
Damn.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I think you're the skinniest Chamorro guy I've ever seen. I was like, they're usually like big, you know. So I'm like,
Well, do you have so you don't have any kind of favorite Filipino food or anything dish?
Not really, bro.
No?
Like,
Damn.
I eat whatever.
Okay,
Not
whatever.
limited,
for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so going back into your music, we've had so many like artists on the podcast, coming from different genres like rap, R&B, pop, and even like all the way down to like metalcore. But I think you're the first like punk rock, indie, alt artist we've ever had, which is dope. It's kind of refreshing to see something that's kind of rare nowadays. What kind of drew you to that style of music? Because I feel like it's going against the grain of like mainstream music nowadays.
Yeah, I guess you. So my music influences were like Juice WRLD, but I'm not like a rapper.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I really fell in love with Juice WRLD, and I loved like the guitars that Juice WRLD had on his songs.
Right.
And then once I heard that, I started listening to more like rock, like Green Day, Blink-182 type shit.
Right.
And like I fell in love with the idea of punk because like I don't know, I was never like a kid to follow. Well, I was always following. Like I promise you, when it comes to being like a good kid, I'm the most like straight edge. Like I don't really drink. Like I drink socially.
Yeah,
like I
sure.
don't smoke weed. All I do is smoke nicotine, and like I don't like do like I don't know, hooligan shit.
Yeah.
So like I'm super straight edge, but like when it comes to punk, it's like it's not just like being like a delinquent. It's like, oh, we are gonna do whatever we want. We don't care what anyone says. I'm gonna look however I want. I don't care what you think. I'm gonna dress how I want to, style my hair however I want to.
Right.
So I fell in love with like punk, and like from there, like I fell in love with like artists like Machine Gun Kelly, Jaden, just guys who were in pop punk, but I wanted to be different because they're all these like white.
Yeah,
They're all just
exactly.
white dudes. So I'm like, yeah, I don't really see no one who's like me in punk, and I don't know. I feel like my voice fits it because it's like not too high, not too deep, and I'm not like a gifted singer. Like I'm not no church singer. I don't have a soulful voice, but like I could keep a pitch, I could keep a tone. So
That's dope.
You definitely, I definitely see that Green Day in you because I also grew up listening to some Green Day just because of my cousins and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like I was like a big fan, but the music was there. I definitely know some Green Day.
Yeah.
Another thing is I definitely applaud you, for coming on the podcast and actually saying, you don't do weed and you're not a hooligan, because a lot of when it comes to social media, we all know there are a lot of facades out here. A lot of people kind of hide that shit to make themselves look good online and stuff like that. So I definitely appreciate you, for coming out like that. I mean, what do you think about that? Because there are a lot of influencers out here that kind of put themselves out there to make them look fresh, but then you know them, you're like, bro, I know you ain't like that.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
what's your kind of take on that?
like, all right, so one thing about me is I will never be something that I'm not. So like, like people will be like, oh, Jordan, you should start rapping. Like if you did something like this, I'm like, bro, I can't rap. If rap is all about like like I'll say that I'm sad, but I won't talk about like I'm not popping no pills, I'm not fucking slinging no dope, I'm not shooting people, I'm not hurting nobody, so I can't go on here and talk about like me killing someone.
sure.
Yeah.
So I'll never do that. And like if I try to freestyle, it'll just be hella gay.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that. I'm just saying, like, you know, no, like I said, you know, you brought up a good point because there are so many rappers out here that talk about getting bands, they got hoes, they got cars.
Bro,
really
like,
don't.
Yeah, like, bro, you living in your mom's fucking
Exactly,
house.
you
Like,
know?
nah, bro, it's crazy. Like some of your favorite TikTokers, rappers, artists, they really like terrible people.
Yeah.
And,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
they're not cool.
Yeah, for sure.
They're lame.
And that's why I said, you know, there's a lot of facades. I definitely, you know, we've seen some shit as well, you know. So it's. Oh, did you see the new TikTok show or Netflix show that just came out, The Dancing with the Devil?
Dancing with the Devil.
Yeah,
Yeah, it just dropped on
It
Netflix.
just dropped like
That's crazy.
last week.
Nah, I don't really be watching shows.
Netflix. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So pretty much like it's these famous TikTok dancers. You've probably seen them on TikTok and shit, but supposedly they're part of a cult.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've seen videos of it.
You seen it?
I've seen
Okay,
videos of it, yeah.
That shit's crazy. You see,
Because
I
it
mean,
went viral before, like, the
I never
Netflix
knew.
show.
I never heard about it.
Yeah,
I never knew about that shit until the show. I mean, I knew who they were.
It was like they were managed by some person,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was like fucking doing all this shady shit.
Yeah. It's pretty.
7M.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's
you know,
crazy.
like I said, I mean, we see them online. They look cool and everything, but low key, they're in a fucking cult. Like,
Yeah,
you know that.
And me coming from, I'm a dancer. You know, I came from a dance background, so I followed them like way before they blew up. And then now that they blew up, I just thought like, oh, they met with a dope videographer. They started pumping out content, you know, high quality content during COVID, and I just thought, just like everyone else who popped off, like, oh, it was just because of COVID.
Yeah.
But then to come to realize that they were part of this like cult that they didn't know was a cult. Like, oh damn, it all
fucking
makes
crazy.
sense now.
Well, I told you,
it's
you know,
crazy.
facades out here
Yeah.
in social media. You know, it
Right.
is what it is, though.
Right.
But I want to get back into it. You know, going through all your songs, I love seeing your progression with your voice, bro, and your music. Obviously, you know, I noticed such a huge difference with your voice and music from the first song XOX Love and up to today to your most recent song Show and Tell. Like, did you get some vocal training personally, or did you just keep practicing on your music and vocals?
So I definitely definitely put in the work. So from the first song XO Love to Show and Tell, like I was definitely, there's so many songs in between those, some released, some not released. But I think surrounding myself with creatives, like I surround myself with people who inspire me. So like there's people that know how to play instruments, that actually know how to sing, and I'm like, damn, I want to be as good as you. And then I also got help from one of my great mentors, brothers, father figures, like Gary Douglas. He came into my life about like a year ago. He saw what I was doing on my own. He saw that like I had a drive for this, I had a passion, that I wasn't afraid to fucking be who I wanted to be, post myself on social media, be in front of the cameras, be in the spotlight. He saw that, and he said that he wanted to help me. He helped me songwrite. He helped me like just find my sound, help me fix up some things that were like off about my music. Like I could be a little pitchy, or I should stick to songs that are in this key to make sure that it best fits my voice. And like he's done it. Like he was signed to Atlantic Records, so he's really been like a huge help, and he's shown me the way as far as like what it means to be an artist outside of like posting myself, but like truly like in a booth recording, getting vocal takes right, putting in the hours.
That's
Yeah,
dope. That's
that
dope.
is dope. Yeah, speaking about, you know, your songs, you know, I definitely fuck with like Something About You and Need You, you know, definitely some of my favorite songs, you know, giving that like pop alt kind of vibe. I could definitely see you performing that like at Head in the Clouds or Coachella, you know. I definitely see it as a live band type of thing. Since you do so many genres, I'm curious to know like who are some of the artists that you draw inspiration from. I know you mentioned Green Day and Blink-182, which I thought already off the bat. Yeah, but is there anyone else? You said Juice WRLD as well.
Yeah, so like right now, artists right now that I'm listening to, and like I'm just in love with the way they write, the way their voice sounds on their instrumentals. There's these artists, Jack Kays. He's this like indie, low key like emo, Midwest emo type artist.
Okay.
So Jack Kays, the Kid Leroy is killing it.
Oh, yeah,
the Kid
for sure,
Leroy,
for
sure.
his new sound, like he's stepping away from like the whole trap beats and like rap to more of like some indie, like really like alternative, cool sounding songs.
Right.
but still has that swagger to him. So I like the Kid Leroy for like his presence and like just the way he's able to be himself on each track.
Yeah.
And then like the Juice WRLDs, Machine Gun Kellys, and I like to pull from like local artists too. So like people that like are in my circle, they make music, and I really like to like hear from them. Like, oh, what would y'all do, or what are like y'all working on right now, so I can get inspired.
Yeah, that is dope. You know, going from your music, you know, going a little bit deeper into your music videos, bro. Like, it's crazy to see the growth, you know, within this past couple of years. You know, your music video, Pain, which you did 2 years ago, it's definitely more guerrilla style compared to your newer music video, which is like about a year old, Talk Too Much, you know, which came out fire, well planned. Well, the cinematography was crazy. I see that is now one of your most viewed music videos. Aside from the pre-production and the planning, what do you think kind of contributed to the success of like Talk Too Much?
I mean, that was when my mentor helped me out, and Gary Douglas, he was the one that helped me write that song, put it together, and I don't know, as I grew, people started to enter my life wanting to help me. So Talk Too Much, there was this production management, like production label called Stoop Kid, who is owned by Blake, great guy. He saw me, he was like a friend of Garrett's, and he was like, hey Jordan, I love what you're doing, I want to help you out any way I can. So Blake, he paid for like the music video, because one thing, like my first ever music video, like photographs, stuff like that, Pain, those were just those were shot by my friends. Like, we didn't have no budget. We were just like, oh, let's go to our local like houses or like places in our area, and let's just record me singing the song. Gotcha. And then even like as I grew, I became more of a creative. So like even in my band's music videos, like you could see that like I've taken my artistry and like how I look on camera far beyond than just like, oh, I want to look like nice, I want a dope backdrop, but I want to create a story. I want to like have really aesthetic and artistic looking shots.
Yeah, no, that's dope. I can definitely see you like growing as an artist, and it's crazy to see. You know, since you met so many people, was there a lot of people or maybe labels or artists that you kind of had to like stay away from or like sift through?
There's definitely like, you could tell when someone's about their shit and not about their shit. I could talk so much about how like, oh, there's people who say that they want to do something for you or they want to help you out and then don't. Or there's artists that are like super like, they like, you could look up to them, and then when you finally meet them, they're low key like dickheads. So like, there's definitely gonna be people. If you're consistent enough and passionate about music, like if you're in it long enough, people will start to see it. You just gotta find out like who's really about their shit and who's not.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, for sure.
Because a lot of people we meet, they just promise you, you know, all these things, and then they're just like, they don't follow through.
We've gone through that quite a few times. You know, I want to go back to, you know, the progression, kind of like what you were talking about. You know, it's, I think as artists, seeing how we come from like the bottom of the barrel up to now where we are, it's crazy. You know, kind of like you know, you kind of go out with, when you first started shooting your videos, you went out with your friends, just shot things. Because me as a videographer, that's all I did. You know, I was just with some friends, hey, let's go shoot this shit. You down to shoot it? I was like, yeah, let's go fucking go, you know? And then eventually it's like me, because, you know, after I graduated film school, I see filmmaking and videography as such a different way. I do go through so much pre-production, so much location scouting, everything, compared to where I was before. You know, like where you kind of just do everything guerrilla style. That's how you know your artistry is definitely growing. You know, you're growing as an artist because you're going about things a different way, but a better way. You know, so it's dope. You know, you kind of mentioned that as well. Also, my apologies, bro. I wanted to film that video for you. Because I reached out to him about
you
filming.
You guys were supposed to do a video?
He posted something on Instagram about posting for FXT. And I was like, hey, I'm down, bro. But I do got, like, I'm in pre-production for, like, some other shit. And I got a baby girl. So it's tough. But, hey, maybe next time, you know, maybe we can collab on another video. Would love to shoot it. But I'm excited to see how this new one turned out.
I got it. I can show y'all actually the
Oh, you do?
Podcast. We had it. It was for this upcoming pop punk, like a super like 2000s pop punk style video. So I was looking for a videographer who was down to like, because we wanted to shoot like real like 2000s like we wanted a house party of like us just doing like random shit like
Okay.
playing beer pong, someone getting fucking body slammed on a table,
Okay.
us breaking a guitar type
sure,
shit.
yeah.
And yeah, like I just needed a videographer. I put it on my story.
Got you.
Corey was busy, and I ended up getting another photographer, Ashley, from Palm Tree Visions. She picked it up, and she did a great job on it. So I can
Dope.
show y'all.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm
Yeah,
down.
I'm excited. Like I
Yeah,
said,
let's
you know,
see.
I apologize, bro. I didn't know your timeline because obviously, you know, some people are like, oh yeah, we need a shot like literally tomorrow, and I'm like, damn, like I can't do that for sure. You know,
Yeah.
like if I had a couple weeks, maybe. But
Yeah.
I know artists, you know, they definitely on their timeline and stuff like that. So hey, maybe if we link up, you know, we
Yeah.
can link up soon
Yeah.
enough, and you know,
We
create
normally
something
tag
dope.
team too.
Yeah, for sure.
Assistant directing.
Yeah, for sure. So
Pause.
yeah.
No, different type of team.
That's different. For
I mean,
sure.
we used to live together. That's a different story.
Yeah, that's a different story. No, but yeah, like I said, you know, like if you're looking for something soon, hey, let us know, and then you know we could definitely get in pre-production and you know start working on some shit for sure.
Hell yes.
You know, obviously we can't continue this podcast without talking about your band Forget Tomorrow or FXT. It looks like you guys started posting more consistently in March of this year. Is for FXT more of like a newly formed band, and how did you guys like form it?
So FXT formed back in 2022.
Okay.
So I started off as Jordan Palani, and when I started music, my great friend Diego Ergi, he had a studio out in Corona. He was like the only like really person in Corona doing anything music wise, and he was recording out of his mom and dad's house, and like he was just a young hungry kid just like me, working on his craft. So I started music with him, and he was like the first person like that I ever knew that was really about music. He was mixing my songs, recording me just to YouTube beats. And then one day, like, he introduced me to his brother, who's this guitar player who does like metal music. And he's like, oh yeah, he's gonna put guitars on this song that we were producing. And it just came out so fire. So his little brother, his name's Adrian, he was doing guitars for my solo music, but I never met him. And then one day I met him, and like we just clicked. Like he was a cool kid. He loved like pop punk. He loved everything that I loved. And I had a show coming up, and I was like, would you want to perform this with me rather than me just singing to a backing track?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I'm down. And then we were like, oh, this is hard. Like we were just rehearsing one day it was him and his guitar. And then we were like, bro, we need a drummer. And then, like, I don't know how this happened, but my cousin at the time, he was learning drums. So we asked him, like, hey, you want to come do the show and play drums for us? And, like, the night before my performance, we rehearsed and...
Damn, the night before.
Yeah,
God damn.
we rehearsed together, and then we performed, and it was great. And then that day, I think... I don't know what day that was exactly, but it was back in 2022. We were just like, hey, we should do something with this. Like, we should make a band. Because, I don't know, I thought I was like on top of the world. Like it was different from like, cause I performed as myself, and then like performing with a band was like, no one could fuck with me. Like I felt good.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I wanted to do that, and then like we started becoming more and more active this year. We got a new bassist, Christian Capitelli. He's this really great kid. So he joined in like around March.
Dope.
And ever since then, like, we've been really focused, locked in on, like, being on the social side, putting out music every other month, and just, yeah, being fucking the next Green Day.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
dope.
yeah.
I mean,
That's
honestly,
fire.
it's cool seeing like how people come together and collaborate or become a band or whatever. You know, it's kind of like us. You know, we've known each other since 2013, and we've been working on shit together ever since then. You know, so it's like I see me and him as like, you know, we're a group. Obviously, you know, he got shit going on, I got shit going on too, and stuff like that. But it's still dope seeing how like people come together, form a band or form a group or whatever it is, and you know, see them accomplish their goals and dreams together.
Yeah, it's
you know, so
crazy.
big ups to you guys for sure. You know, I gotta talk about the cover art for Crime Scene of My Life. You know, it's creative. I love the route you went. I know there's so many other ways you could have gone about, you know, going that with that cover art. But what made you kind of go with the current? And for those that are listening or haven't seen it, it's pretty much Jordan laying in like a bloodbath. But it's dope. You know, it looks really cool creatively. So how did you guys come up with that idea originally?
So that's a still from the music video. And the whole idea behind Crime Scene of My Life was that's the first song that we released after the rebrand. My cousin, who was the drummer, he left the band because he wanted to pursue other things. No bad blood there, but he left. And then our first ever song with our new rebrand, new member of the band, was Crime Scene of My Life. And the whole point of that song was, this was after, like, I've done the whole Jordan Palani thing. I built my fan base. With the band's been together for a couple years. We've had, like, people support us and people who didn't fuck with us, or people who promised things like we were talking about.
Right.
And the whole point of that song is, like, we're going to do what we want to do, and we're not going to waste our time anymore with, like, these things that don't mean anything to us. So the whole point of that song is, like, don't waste your time. Don't live a life you don't want to live. So that's a still, and one of the scenes is me in a bloodbath talking about how, like, I don't want to waste my time anymore. What is my story after I'm gone? And
that's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah. So it's really artistic song.
Yeah,
like
sure.
the music video is super artistic. Like the shots there, like it's super like pleasing to the eye. It's less like me singing to a camera and more like, oh, let's put a projector heart on your fucking chest of it breaking, like this type shit.
For sure, that's dope. Where do you guys want to take like FXT next? Like, do you guys want to go on tours, movie placements? Like, where are you guys thinking?
So by the end of this year, I want to be in a position to where we're consistently getting gigs and shows, and then the start of next year, we hope to go on our first mini tour, first headline tour or support tour, whether we're opening up for somebody. But yeah, that's really the thing. Like we wanna be in front of people. We wanna perform live. Like that's the biggest thing is for any artist, not even just a band, but you gotta perform live. You gotta get in front of people that fucking don't know who you are.
For sure.
Right.
Hey, let me give you a round of applause, bro. Like I said, you know, it's definitely not an easy thing to form a band and yet like promote yourself and stuff like that. So, you know, I definitely see your guys' grind, and you know, I hope you guys are definitely successful in the future, you know. So let's fucking go.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. You know, you as a content creator on both like TikTok and Instagram platforms, and an artist, of course, yourself. This is a talk like me and John have had with other artists and had other opinions. But as far as music videos go, do you feel like music videos are like long form music videos? Are they dying, and should people focus on more short form, vertical videos? Because it's definitely a thing where people are like leaning more towards that. For me as a filmmaker, I hate seeing the fact that people are more like vertical now, because like, you know, artistry and creatively, I love just creating like long form music videos.
Yeah. I feel you. I hate being called a TikToker and an influencer. Like no offense to like all the TikTokers and influencers out there. I'm just not like y'all. I do content like that, but I don't really love it. I just do it.
Sure.
I think long form content is still a necessary thing. It's changed. Like you have to really be artistic, and it has to be creative. Like you can't just go on here, rap your song, have some cool visual effects and think that you're gonna pop off.
Right.
Like you gotta do something cool. Like you gotta have like a fucking waterfall behind you, or like a shower scene where like you're really performing. But when it comes to the vertical videos, like get on the vertical content. Like make a video where you're singing your song to a mic that's just like right in front of you. Like you gotta do both, and I don't think it's a bad thing. Like with the power of TikTok and how everything's changed, like it's really good for artists to be on social media. Like I will never advocate someone to not do social media.
Yeah,
for sure.
No,
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
dope. You know, yeah, I think we have to kind of like also do both, like you were saying. Like, but I feel like there's a sense of artistry and conceptualizing like a full length video and then chopping that up into vertical format. I think that's the best way to do both. You know,
you kind of got to go with what's trending.
Right.
I guess, you know, like I said, you know, for me, I'm definitely not gonna stop, you know, long form content, because that's just what I grew into. You know, I was always creating long form YouTube content. I can't see myself just creating like vertical TikTok content and stuff like that. Even though a lot of people are like, no, you gotta literally just create vertical. Like, no, like I love the YouTube platform, and I'm still gonna create like long form content and stuff like that.
Right.
But you know, kind of it does make sense. You know, of course, like chop it up for vertical, post it on TikTok and Instagram and Reels and see where it goes.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
for sure.
It's more of a marketing thing.
Yeah, more
too.
marketing thing for sure. Yeah,
because that's what's trending. You
Yeah.
gotta follow what social media is like giving out.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's the only way you're gonna fall into the algorithm.
sure.
But speaking about long format and short format videos, I saw that you started vlogging a few weeks ago on YouTube. As a short form content creator with over like 300K followers on TikTok, I'm curious to know what made you started vlogging and getting into YouTube again.
Yeah, I mean, this is like we said, it's like I'm a creative. I don't want to just not do anything. And I got so recently I've been blessed enough to help all my friends out, these businesses out, as far as in like they don't know how to create short form content. Like they don't understand social media like that, and I do. Right. So I've been really getting hands on as far as like the studio that I work from, URG Studios. I've been helping him with social media. My tattoo artist, I've been helping him out with his social media. I just got on with this new photography studio that we were talking about before the podcast started. Yeah. And I'm controlling their social medias, and I've been helping everybody with their social medias. And like for me, like I love being creative, but for myself too, I saw it as a way of like, all right, let me just vlog all the cool shit I do. Mm-hmm. Like it's not hard, like it's super simple, and it's also another way for me to like put out content. So however I could put out content, I'll do. So whether it's like vlogging, fucking set up my phone and do like a quick little TikTok, 15 seconds. Yeah. Anything really. Like I just love being creative, so that's why I started vlogging.
Yeah, you have so many different pockets that you're trying to get from, and that's dope how you can manage all of that. As a social media manager, is there any like tips and free game you could give out to people who wanted to start up?
Shit. Okay, so here's the biggest thing. Like if you're gonna be a social media person, you gotta do every platform. So there's TikToks, there's Instagram Reels, and there's YouTube Shorts. So you can make your video on TikTok, but also crop that video, get it without the water logo sign. What you want to do is like you got to go to like Snaptic or one of those videos where you could download it without the little TikTok thing, and post that video on Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts with a similar caption, but just change up the hashtags a little bit. Like for shorts, you got to use the hashtags like hashtag shorts, hashtag viral. And then for Reels, you got to use hashtag explore, hashtag Reels. And then for TikTok, you got to use hashtag for you page. But post the same exact video. It might do good on one, they all might just do bad, but because it's on 3 different platforms, it's 3 chances to get your video popping. It's the same exact video. But yeah, if you're gonna be a content creator, you gotta be on YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikTok.
Yeah, that's a free game. We need to learn from it. It's like we've been struggling.
I mean, how do you feel about like hashtags? Because it's a question I've even asked myself. Like, are hashtags important nowadays? Or like, what hashtags should you be using? How many should you be using? Like, what's your opinion on that?
Damn, I'm about to give free. I'm about to give free fucking. All right, so stick to like 4 hashtags. Okay. So it's different on each. So each platform has a specific hashtag. So like the hashtag shorts, hashtag reels, hashtag for you. So stick with those, and then your other 2. It should be one pertaining to the video. So whether you're like singing, whether you're drumming, whether it's a podcast, so like hashtag podcast, hashtag singing, hashtag cover, hashtag drums. And then the next one is if it's a funny video, if it's a viral video, if it's a relatable video, do hashtag funny, hashtag relatable, hashtag comedy, whatever. Yeah. But 4 hashtags, the first 2 should be the ones that are on that platform. The second 2 should be what the video is, like what it really is, and then like what type of video, whether it's like get ready with me's, I don't know, vlog, whatever. But yeah, so
I have to use that shit, bro.
I think we'll talk more after the podcast. We don't want to give you too. We don't want to give too many.
I'll put you on.
Yeah, because we've been struggling. We've been having a hard time.
I promise you, like, I don't know what. I got a lot of it just from being in the space, but like, there's so much that like I could put y'all on, I could put people on, and I don't charge for it. Like I'm helping people because it's like no one ever did that for me. Like there's no content creator, no fucking influencer that's gonna tell you like what to do, and like I've learned it firsthand. Like
they be gatekeeping,
bro. People do not want other people to succeed.
Yeah, facts. 100%. I literally talked about this with my coworker yesterday because me as a creative as well, and then she does more marketing, but she's also trying to lean into like creativity. We were literally talking about how like there are people that just don't, they see you on Instagram, they won't like your shit or whatever, but you know they see it. They see what we're doing out here. They just don't want to see us succeed.
Yeah.
You know,
Right,
I'm not
exactly.
gonna lie. It's like 100% facts. Like,
Exactly.
It's literally
Even
just
back
how
at home, we're from Seattle.
Yeah, we're from
Space
Seattle,
Needle
yeah.
from Artistry Drop and everything, and like, yeah, there's some haters. You know?
there's some haters.
So I was literally, so I went to college and, bro, I didn't, like, I don't know if I was, like, really weird, but I was the type of kid where, like, I'm not going to join a frat. I'm not going to go party. I'm going to stay in my dorm and make TikToks. I was known as the TikToker. I was known as fucking the kid who does the silly music stuff. And, like, now they're like, oh, Jordan, let me be in your video.
Yeah,
Jordan,
yeah.
how do I do this? Jordan, I want to get free clothes from people.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, bro, like, you were literally making fun of me,
Facts.
and now
Exactly,
you
yeah.
want me to fucking tell you how to do what I do. Like,
Right,
what?
right, exactly. And just like you mentioned, you know, I kind of want to dive deeper into that, bro, because, you know, we've been talking about, like, you know, how you created your own style, you know, your genre of music, and really going against the grain of, like, social media and also, like, mainstream music, you know, which we could definitely speak about in a positive light as of now. But like you said, you know, I wanted to know if there's been any negativity that you had to grow up and deal with because you were so different, too.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, since I didn't grow up in music, like I always say, like, damn, I wish my parents put me in like guitar lessons or singing lessons. But then I am proud of my background because I played sports. So I played basketball and football, and like in there, that's where I learned, like, damn, I was fucking the shortest kid on the court. I was the least athletic. But I'm fucking getting bullied because I can't jump as high, or I'm not as strong as these kids. So me being in sports really taught me like a dog mindset where it's like, all right, if I'm not good here, I got to do something where I am good at. Like, I got to exceed in other things so that I'm of value.
Yeah.
So I was never bullied. And like, this is the funniest story that I tell people, but like growing up, I was the bully. Like I fully like am not the same way anymore. But like when I was in high school, like the kids that were in dance class, kids that were in music stuff, like I would make fun of, because in middle school I was in choir, and I remember like people would call me gay, people would do this, whatever.
Just thought it was corny.
Yeah, they would thought I was corny because I was in choir. And then like once I graduated middle school and went off to high school, I was like, all right, fuck music. I'm gonna play sports. I'm gonna be fucking him on campus. Like, so I was
jock.
I was a jock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's how I was in high school up until I started doing music. And like from then on, like I saw like you just have to own what you fucking do, and no one could say shit about you.
For sure.
Damn.
Yeah.
That-
I mean,
it's a full 360 for sure.
I think, you know, I'm old. I'm a little bit older, so you know.
You grandpa. I
Yeah,
call
I'm
my
grandpa.
You old.
Yeah, so you know, during my time in school, like middle school and high
Galaxy
school.
far, far away.
No, so yeah,
Back
so
in
dur-
1800.
Yeah, for real. No. So I graduated. Well, I would have graduated in 2006, but you know, during my time in middle school and stuff like that, it was definitely a different period. You know, a lot of people didn't really see what we see nowadays today. You know, like social media was not a thing in like 2003, and you know, we didn't have that shit back then. But I feel like kids nowadays, they definitely get it easier. You know, like they have social media because you finished school in
2012.
2012, and social media was just starting during that
just
time.
starting, yeah.
See, I didn't have that shit back in like 2006 and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know, so
Yeah, YouTube.
yeah, YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube was just starting. You know,
Yeah.
that's literally the only thing I had. I started YouTube when it first started in like 2008, 2009.
Peak YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Goddamn.
Yeah. No,
Shit
you know,
ancient.
but like I said, you know, it's definitely a different time. I feel like, you know, the way people see things today, like, oh yeah, you're a TikToker, or you know, like, you're not, if you're singing, or you know, shit like that. You know, people definitely take it in a different way. I'm not gonna lie, I would have loved to have social media back in my time. Like I hate back in my time.
Back in my day.
Yeah, back in my day. No, I'm not gonna lie. I would have loved to have social media because I feel like as a kid I was already kind of creative. You know, I posted that video, Reina, and
Yeah.
that was vlogging back in like '98.
Yeah, imagine if you would have like stuck to it at that time,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
was more consistent.
That's
like,
what I'm
it would've
saying.
been
You know,
crazy.
it would have been crazy having social media back
Yeah.
that time. But you know, I definitely wish, you know, us, you know, people nowadays, like social media is crazy because they they see somebody doing shit, and sometimes they want to rip you down because you're doing something, you know, like they're not doing shit. You're the one doing it. You
or
know?
they just want a bandwagon off of the clout, like
For
you
sure.
were saying.
You know,
like,
yeah, exactly. Like you know, you're doing shit, and they saw it, and they're like making fun of you. So hey, you're on the rise, bro. So you know, big ups to you for sure. And
But I mean, I definitely hear what you're saying, and I
Yeah.
appreciate it. But fucking kids today shouldn't be on. Like low key, kids today fucking suck. Like, y'all should
No,
not.
it's facts. It's facts.
Y'all
It's facts.
fuckers need to get off TikTok
For
and get
real.
off Instagram
Right.
and go fucking touch some grass.
For real, no, you know that's I literally been talking to this about my fiance because you know we just had a baby girl and you know
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. You know it's definitely something I told her too. Like I don't want to let her, you know, get onto social media that way either. Especially like she's gonna be what 13, 14.
It's gonna be different.
Yeah, it's gonna be different than that. I think it's gonna be worse.
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
it's gonna be worse.
it's getting
you know?
worse.
Yeah,
Like,
it's getting worse. You know, so that's why I told I talked to my fiance. I was like, you know, we definitely got to be more like
Aware
of what's
conscious,
happening. Yeah. We definitely have to be more.
Well, since you guys both do social media, I think you guys.
That's the thing. She's gonna grow into it because me
yeah.
and her both do social media, but it's like. It's different, you know. It's different when I started doing social media and stuff like that. Kind of like what you said. Kids are more savage during this time, you know, this generation and stuff, you know.
They
So
just be doing random shit, jumping into waterfalls.
yeah,
like,
no,
Yeah, you shouldn't like. You see these people on social media, and like, you shouldn't redo what they do.
Facts.
And like,
Right,
it's
right.
like a lot of kids like now they're seeing what people do, and they're just copying it. Like
what I'm
when
saying.
you were growing up,
Yeah.
that's like I said, peak YouTube because everyone was doing their own shit.
Facts.
Right.
Yeah.
And like even now, me talking to y'all, you talking to me. I'm the way I am because of how I grew up. You guys are the way you are because of how
sure.
you grew up.
Yeah, for sure.
Like the way we grew up is important because we learned things, we found ourselves. But now kids, they're seeing these people. They're not themselves. They're just copying fucking the David Dobrik's and the fucking
right.
Justin Bieber's and Ariana Grande's of the world. It's like stop copying somebody. Go find out who you are,
Yeah.
and then do whatever you want to do.
But it's hard because like these kids grew up in the TikTok era of like
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the
copy
thing.
and paste, and
Yeah.
you know that's what goes viral because of trends. So it's like, how do you let teach them to grow out of that? It's hard, you know.
No, I definitely appreciate
Yeah.
what you said, bro.
No,
Because
for
that's
sure, yeah.
100% facts.
That's real,
Yeah.
too.
That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is real, and you know that's why I think you know raising a child in this time is definitely going to be more difficult.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel like
crazy.
for sure. But you know, as long as my fiance and you know I like we make sure she doesn't grow into that shit. I think she'll grow up. You know, good.
she'll be good.
I think I'm definitely going to limit her like social media time for sure. You know, because I
I'll
don't
be
want
one of those parents.
Yeah, no, I have to because even look at what Jordan said. You know,
Yeah.
like
Let her find some people that are good people.
for sure.
Yeah, that's
Let
what-
her
that's
watch them. Let
Yeah.
her like be like, oh, these guys are doing good things. Let her go to her normal public school life. Let her find her own interests, and then she'll decide. Okay, yeah, I want to do this. I want
Yeah.
to do
Right,
that.
right, right.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
don't
for
like
sure.
if she's on her phone consistently. She's seeing fucking girls shake their ass, get
Yeah.
all these comments, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
oh, if they're doing it, I could do it
Nah,
too.
you ain't doing that shit.
Yeah,
You
that's a
definitely
different
ain't
story, yeah.
Yeah, that's a different story
Like,
for
yeah.
sure. Yeah, you know, we'll definitely keep tabs on her and you know
Yeah.
stuff. But I appreciate you know the advice and stuff for sure because
Right.
you know as new parents, it's definitely different.
Scary.
You know, it's scary.
It's scary.
You know, I even told my fiance, you know, before we had our baby, I was scared because I didn't know what to expect. You know, I'm a first time dad and stuff like that, and it's you just don't know what to expect. You know, so
Right.
it's something you learn as you go. You know, I'm still learning so much shit as we go. You know, but I love my baby. You know, she's amazing. But I definitely, you know, see how things are today, and I don't want her to grow into, you know, this crazy shit for sure.
I don't
You
think
know,
she will.
I would love to see her in some kind of artistry, whether she's a singer, filmmaker like me, or you know, artist, actor, whatever. I would love to see her in.
I'm sure she will. As long as you have cool parents like your parents,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
you know, and you and Rachel, like you guys are cool, supportive,
Yeah.
then she's gonna do whatever.
For
you
sure.
know? Yeah.
We just gotta limit it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
I'm not trying to
But-
get
but
her into
she- but she'll be in the art industry.
Yeah, for sure,
That's
for
what I'm
sure.
saying.
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. So, no, I definitely appreciate you, Jordan, for that advice and shit. We are coming to the end of the podcast, though, and you know, we started. We started. we could have talked
Yeah,
forever, bro.
yeah, we
like,
coulda.
you know, it got to the point because we were doing like literally 2-hour episodes, and you know, people's attention spans. It was like,
I
you know,
get it.
you know how it is.
I
So
get it.
we could have kept talking forever, though.
For real.
But you know, we created Artistry Drop to inspire the next generation of people. You know, whether you're an artist or whatever, like we want to inspire other people to follow their dreams and goals. So, what advice can you give to our viewers out here listening, like becoming an artist and singer?
Shit. Other than shit I've already said, like, so one thing about me, one thing about my bands, it's what I live by. Like the name Forget Tomorrow. It's all about living in the moment, living for today. Fuck whatever you like. Don't think about the future. Like so many kids, me myself, like I was so worried about, oh, when I grow up, I have to do this, or my parents need me to go to college so I can become a doctor, a lawyer, whatever. Fuck that. Live for you. Do what you want to do. Be as crazy, as goofy, as outgoing as you want to be. I can't tell you enough. Like my motto is I live life hour by hour. Like I told them I haven't slept in 2 days, and I'm not like fucking sad about it. I'm not like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm like, hey, I gotta do what I gotta do. So like 1 hour I could be here, the next hour I could be in fucking San Diego making music. But I actually am doing that after this.
San Diego.
After this, I'm supposed to go to San Diego.
Damn.
God damn, you just came from like all the way in the IE. That's crazy.
But yeah, like do what you want to do, and do it without regrets. Live life without thinking like, oh, if I would have done this, what would have happened? So.
Yeah. Damn, bro. Like, I wish I had, like, the energy you have, because I used to have that shit back then, but after this, I'm about to take a nap. Like,
You're old.
I know.
Grandpa.
You're older, so it's fine. Like, I'm 22,
Yeah.
and, like, I have this, like, chip on my shoulder. Like, I set my goal. I set, like, not a goal. I set, like, a limit to myself. I was like, by the time I'm 25, like, if this shit really isn't a thing, then, yeah, cool. I'll go get a normal job. I'll bartend full-time, or I'll join real estate. But until I'm 25, bro, I will do whatever I want to, full fucking force.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
No, big ups to you,
dope,
bro.
Yeah.
See, I'm about to be a grandpa. I'm almost in my 40s in like 3 more years, you know?
Sounds
So,
good,
like, I wish I still had that energy. I was literally just telling, because, you know, he always makes fun of me, like, being a grandpa and shit.
Yeah.
And last night, you know, our baby girl, she was kind of spitting up. So, we're laying in bed, and I turn and grab her bib and wipe her. And all of a sudden, I feel like I pulled a muscle in my butt. And I was like, fuck. Like, I know I'm getting old.
God damn. Yeah.
You know?
And I'm right in the middle of you guys. So yeah,
he's in the middle.
It's definitely dope to see and refreshing to feel that grind again
sure,
see that, you know, because that's something that we went through.
Yeah.
And I'm turning 30 this year, so it's like I have the energy. Some of the energy that you have, not all the way, but then I also like, it does sound nice to take a nap after this. Yeah.
For sure.
So like I'm right in the middle, but
yeah.
I'm not where I want to be. So like I fuck with the grind that you got.
Yeah, for sure. You know,
sure.
I'm not gonna lie. I wish, like I said, you know, social media and all that was kind of a thing during my time, because it just wasn't. You know, Instagram, I think, was popping off around 2013, 2014 when it just started, and I literally was just starting film school. So, you know, I was busy with film school for like the next 6 years and shit like that. And, you know, it was hard to kind of focus on social media and kind of get my brand growing and stuff like that. So, you know, I wish I could go back and be young again. I'm not gonna lie.
hey, I mean, y'all got it. Like the key thing is consistency.
For
and
sure.
Like from seeing what y'all do, like y'all are consistent. And
Thank you, bro. I
even
appreciate
though
that.
like you have your lives, you have whatever
Yeah.
you got going on, you have your girl, you got jobs, whatever.
Yeah.
You're consistent with it. And shit, I'm young, I get it, I'm 22 and I have a grind, but seeing what you do, it's also inspiring to like the youth and me, because like, bro, even when I am that age, like, fucking do what you want to do. Y'all are doing what y'all want to do, and it's
Yeah, for
inspiring.
sure. No, like I
Thank
said,
you,
you know, not knocking you on being young, bro. I wish I could go back to being young. I'm not gonna lie.
And you're definitely like mature for your age.
Yeah,
like,
you're definitely mature, bro.
I knew you were young, but I was like, the way you speaking and the way you know yourself and
Yeah,
the way
for
you know
sure.
the industry, I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
he ahead of his years for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Like,
No,
yeah.
big ups to you, bro, for sure. Are there any shout outs you'd like to give to our viewers out here listening?
Yeah, so shout out to my band, Forget Tomorrow, Adrian, Marcelo, Christian, I love y'all. Shout out to Diego, Ergi, URG Studios. If you're in the Inland Empire, OC, that's the coziest, best studio in the world. Check it out.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to my mentor, brother, I love you, Garrett Douglas. You mean a lot to me. And then shout out to all my friends, family, supporters. Y'all are the reason why I'm able to do cool stuff, not work a job, and come on a podcast like this and inspire, talk about myself. So without y'all, I wouldn't be here.
Hey,
Yeah,
let's
let's
go.
go.
Dope. We're on social media. Can our viewers find you?
You can find me on all social platforms at Jordan Palani, Jordan with the A, and then Palani, Palani.
All right, and everybody, of course, you know we're already gonna drop all his social media accounts in the description below. But Jordan, appreciate you coming on, bro.
Yes, sir.
Definitely,
Thank you.
it was dope getting to know you a lot more for sure, and you're, learning your story. And appreciate you coming on the Artistry Drop.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Anyways, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, it's Artistry Drop. If you're not following us on Instagram, you can find us at the Artistry Drop. And if you prefer just listening, you can stream all our episodes on all major podcast platforms. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.